association with D-Tube.
Hello all fellow Steammeisters, you've joined me presumably because you're interested in another update on the SH2OMI, the stealth water methanol injection system for the Skoda Fabia. In my most recent post I mentioned how I'd made a bit of a boo-boo with the intake manifold pipe. I'd not measured correctly before I was fitting the bulkheads for the misting nozzle and the boost feed connector, so I had to order. So yesterday I ordered another manifold pipe off eBay and it arrived this morning, but it's the wrong one, and that's purely my fault because the part number is like 6R0 and 6 digits, and this one was 6R0 and the right 6 digits but had an A on the end of it, and it's a completely different shape. It's slightly smaller diameter and the bend, the kink in it's different. So that's not the seller's fault on eBay, that's purely me rushing and ordering the wrong part. So that's 15 quid wasted, so I've had to order another one today. So that's had to be put on a back burner. But today, before the rain started, I've plugged a battery pack from Sam's Drill up to the pump and solenoid circuit. I primed the pump and ran it without the misting nozzle fitted, just the push fit tubing. Everything ran swimmingly. I just made a connection, made a circuit with the pump and the solenoid, both engaged at the same time, just plugged a bit of wires across the ends of them. Everything ran fine, lovely jubbly, really happy. So in a spare bulkhead connector on the end of the push fit tubing, I put, because I've got two misting nozzles to try from China. I thought, since they're coming that far, I'll order two different sizes, a 0.4mm and a 0.6mm. So I fitted the 0.6mm, again I fired it up, and within 2 seconds, catastrophic failure. The pressurised side of the silicone pipe between the pump and the solenoid valve exploded. I was covered, and the top of the shed was covered, as you can see from these pictures. So I thought, oh, maybe the misting nozzle needs to be opened up a little bit, maybe it was just actually locked shut, you know, no flow available. So I got the pliers on it, I opened up quite a bit. I thought, I'll get some flow for sure. Plugged it all in, fired it all up again. I watched the pipe this time, and within 2 seconds the pipe just inflated. I didn't take a photograph of it, unfortunately, but the pipe inflated like a balloon. But I managed to turn everything off, disconnect the system before it went pop. So I just put 12 volts at 14.4 with these, I think, but I just put voltage across the solenoid valve only, just to bleed the pressure back out, and the pipe just shrank back down to size again. So obviously that's a weak link in the system, is that silicone pipe, and I didn't look into well, I didn't think these pressures would have that effect on the silicone piping. It's the same silicone piping on the intake side, the feed from what will be the washer tank, but because it's on because that's a vacuum side, the pipe doesn't expand. It'll shrink, so it'll suck in if anything. But the pipe on the vacuum side, the feed side, the pump, perfectly fine. So I'm going to have to order some. I'm out of money at the moment, out of funds. I'm going to have to order some braided pipe, some PVC pipe or something. The trouble is with the PVC pipe, because I think it's quite stiff and firm. I'm not sure if that'll fit over the flange for the pump, and then the screw fitting that'll tighten it on. I'm not sure if the PVC braided pipe will be pliable enough for that to be a suitable fitting. But I did find some braided gas pipe, rubber gas pipe, which might be more pliable. Again, I'm picking an 8mm ID, I think, to sort of stretch over the 10mm barb on the water pump. Only a couple of quid again, but I'm literally out of money at the moment, so I'll have to wait a little bit and maybe look into it a bit more as to what kind of pipe I get. But the solenoid valve, there were no leaks. The push fit piping down to the spare bulkhead, push fit connector, all fine. It's just this one weak link, I think, at the moment. Plus I know there's supposed to be some kind of like a pressure circuit breaker thing built into the pump, so it can't go above 80 psi, but running 14.4 volts through it instead of 12 volts is probably not a good thing anyway, but it's just purely for testing. So that's all the negatives again, so that's another step backwards. But on the plus side though, as you can see in the picture, I had the feed side of the T-piece of the tubing in the little water reservoir I had, and the top side, which will connect to the washer jet nozzles in the car, was open to the atmosphere. And the one-way valve system in that obviously seems to work because I wasn't sucking in atmospheric air through the pump, just purely the water out of the tank, out of the bucket thing I was using. So at least one good thing's come out of the testing today, that there should be no issue with sucking air from the atmosphere through the washer for the windscreen washer nozzles into the system, and then just blowing bubbles of air, useless air, into the engine. It all seemed to look good. From the few seconds that I saw it working anyway, I mean, I could be completely wrong with that, but looking through the push fit tubing, it's opaque, it's not pure clear, but it's opaque. I could see water running through it, and there didn't seem to be any bubbles in it. So that's the one plus side from today, that the one-way valve in that feed system I created does seem to work. So onwards and upwards, obviously a lot more to do. I'll have to do a bit more testing before I'm happy with it to put it in the car. I thought this was going to be a fairly straightforward project, but there's obviously, I can't just go fit it in the car and have it exploding everywhere and then blowing water through the cabin fan and into the cockpit. That won't be a good thing. So yeah, a lot more testing to do. I've done enough rambling. You can see all the pictures. Follow me on Steemit, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.